Have you ever wondered why someone who was once very open suddenly becomes quiet and harder to reach? Many people quickly assume they have become arrogant, cold, or no longer care about relationships. In reality, this change often begins with awareness, not attitude. As they understand themselves more deeply, they also begin to see the world from a different perspective. The things that once excited them gradually stop feeling meaningful. They start thinking more carefully about every conversation and every relationship around them. Their time is no longer spent on meetings that exist only to fill the silence. They also stop maintaining connections simply because they are afraid of disappointing others. Instead, they learn how to protect their inner peace. From the outside, it may look as though they are slowly disappearing from everyone's life. But inside, a quiet process of growth is taking place each day. They are not withdrawing from the world because they hate people or believe they are better than anyone else. They have simply realized that their energy, time, and emotions are limited. That awareness makes them more selective about how they live and whom they connect with. Perhaps their disappearance is not an ending at all. It may simply be the beginning of a journey back to themselves. The biggest change does not happen in the world itself, but in the way they observe it. In the past, they often believed what other people said without questioning it too much. Over time, experience teaches them to notice the smallest signals in human behavior. A smile can sometimes hide discomfort instead of genuine happiness. A compliment may also carry a hint of jealousy that most people fail to recognize. They pay attention to people's eyes, tone of voice, and the way they treat others in different situations. Little by little, these details come together to form a much clearer picture of who someone truly is. Once the same patterns appear often enough, they can no longer pretend they have not seen them. They begin to recognize who only reaches out when they need help or want to take advantage of others. They also learn who is genuinely happy to see someone else succeed. This ability to observe makes them more careful about whom they trust. It does not make them suspicious or pessimistic. They simply learn to judge people by their actions rather than their promises. The more they understand the true nature of relationships, the more they value sincere connections. And from that point on, a quiet distance between them and many other people begins to grow naturally. As their ability to observe becomes sharper, the way they build relationships begins to change as well. They no longer see every act of kindness as proof of genuine care. Some people appear incredibly supportive, but only when they want something in return. Others constantly offer words of encouragement, yet quietly disappear the moment you succeed. After experiencing these patterns again and again, they learn to recognize the difference between attention and true connection. What they seek is no longer a large circle of acquaintances. Instead, they value people who genuinely understand and respect one another. As a result, their social circle naturally becomes smaller over time. This is not about isolating themselves or shutting the world out. It is a conscious decision to invest their time in relationships that bring peace and mutual trust. They understand that not everyone who enters their life is meant to stay forever. Sometimes, letting go of a toxic relationship is the healthiest way to protect themselves. Becoming more selective allows them to preserve their energy for what truly matters. If you enjoy psychology insights that help you understand yourself on a deeper level, subscribe to the channel and join us for new videos every day. The journey of personal growth often begins with knowing who to hold on to and who to let go. Many people assume that intelligent individuals prefer being alone because they dislike socializing. In reality, what often drives them away from crowds is mental exhaustion. Every conversation requires them to observe, listen, and think more deeply than most people. They do not just hear the words being spoken, they also pay attention to the emotions and intentions behind them. As a result, shallow conversations quickly lose their appeal. Repetitive small talk no longer feels engaging or meaningful. They often leave long social gatherings feeling drained, especially when genuine connection is missing. Ironically, being surrounded by many people can sometimes make them feel lonelier than ever. What they lack is not company. What they truly miss is a conversation deep enough to create real understanding and empathy. Over time, they begin to value quality over quantity in every relationship. They become willing to turn down invitations that offer little emotional or intellectual value. Instead of forcing themselves to fit in, they choose to spend their time reading, reflecting, or simply resting. This is not a sign of arrogance. It is their way of protecting their mental energy. so they can focus on what truly matters in life. As they grow older, they gradually accept a truth that was once difficult to understand. Not everyone sees the world the same way. Every person responds based on their own experiences, fears, and emotional wounds. A harsh criticism does not always reflect your worth. Sometimes, it reflects the insecurity of the person speaking. Someone who constantly dismisses your achievements may be struggling with feelings of inadequacy. A person who frequently interrupts others may simply be trying to prove their own value. Once they understand this, they stop taking every negative reaction personally. They also stop wasting their time arguing just to prove they are right. They realize that no one truly changes because they are forced, criticized, or convinced. Real change only happens when a person is willing to reflect on themselves. That is why they focus first on managing their own attitude and emotions. They learn to stay calm in the face of unnecessary provocation. They also know when silence is more valuable than continuing a meaningless argument. This does not mean they are weak or lack confidence in their beliefs. It is a sign of emotional maturity and the wisdom to use their energy where it truly matters. Instead of trying to fix everyone around them, they invest more time in becoming a better version of themselves each day. That choice makes life feel lighter, calmer, and far more peaceful. Have you ever walked away from a relationship after realizing you could not change the other person? Share your story in the comments. Your experience might give someone else the courage to choose what is truly best for themselves. After gaining a deeper understanding of relationships, they begin paying closer attention to their inner world. They realize that emotions deserve to be acknowledged, but they should not be allowed to control every decision. When faced with criticism, they no longer react impulsively as they once did. Instead, they take time to observe, reflect, and understand what lies behind each situation. This thoughtful approach helps them avoid rash decisions they might later regret. They also stop feeling obligated to reply to every message or join every argument. They understand that well-timed silence can often be more powerful than 100 explanations. Every time they say yes to something that does not align with their values, they give up a piece of their own peace. That is why they learn to say no without feeling guilty. They set clear and healthy boundaries to protect their emotional and mental well-being. Those boundaries are not meant to push people away. Instead, they create relationships built on mutual respect and understanding. People who genuinely care will respect those limits, while those who only seek to take advantage often struggle to accept them. By learning to protect their inner peace, they do not become cold or distant. They simply choose to give their time, energy, and heart to the people who truly deserve them. Many people believe that being alone is a sign of loneliness or failure in relationships. In reality, many intelligent people are simply seeking a quiet space to reconnect with themselves. When the noise of other people's expectations fades away, their minds become much clearer. They have the time to reflect on their choices, goals, and the values that truly matter in life. Silence no longer makes them feel empty or anxious. Instead, it becomes the place where they restore their energy after long periods of stress. Time alone allows them to look back on their mistakes without blaming themselves. It also helps them recognize what is worth holding on to and what is better left behind. Those peaceful moments enable them to make calmer, wiser decisions. They are not running away from the world or giving up on meaningful relationships. They simply refuse to sacrifice their inner peace for shallow connections. Once they discover the value of silence, they no longer depend on other people's approval to feel secure. Their confidence comes from understanding and respecting who they truly are. If you also believe that silence can sometimes be the greatest gift for the soul, give this video a like to support the channel and help share this message with more people. When they are no longer caught up in meaningless social gatherings, they gain more time to invest in themselves. They read more books to expand their knowledge and develop a deeper understanding of life. Every book offers fresh perspectives that shallow conversations can rarely provide. They also spend time reflecting on past experiences instead of rushing into the next chapter of life. This habit of self-reflection helps them recognize both their strengths and the areas where they still need to grow. They constantly question their own beliefs, choices, and goals. Rather than accepting every opinion they hear, they learn to think independently and draw their own conclusions. Over time, this process makes their thinking more flexible, thoughtful, and mature. They no longer rely on praise to feel valuable. Their confidence is built through the small improvements they make each day. They understand that lasting growth always begins from within. That is why they choose learning over seeking attention from others. Every day lived with purpose brings them one step closer to the person they truly want to become. In the end, the time they spend alone transforms silence into the foundation of personal growth, resilience, and lasting self-respect. There was a time when they constantly tried to please everyone around them. They feared rejection, so they often hid their true thoughts and feelings. Many of their decisions were driven by the desire to be accepted and appreciated. As they matured, however, they realized that this way of living was slowly causing them to lose themselves. No one can satisfy everyone all the time. Trying to meet every expectation only leads to constant pressure and emotional exhaustion. That is why they begin living according to the values they genuinely believe in. They choose goals that reflect who they truly are instead of chasing other people's approval. As a result, some relationships naturally begin to fade away. Yet they understand that authenticity is far more valuable than being liked by everyone. They no longer ask themselves how they can fit in with every group. Instead, they ask whether their current life truly reflects who they are. That simple question helps them make clearer and more confident decisions every day. Once they stop depending on external validation, they feel a new sense of freedom in both their thoughts and their actions. Many people believe that someone suddenly disappears from their lives. In reality, that decision is usually shaped by countless small experiences over time. Every misunderstanding teaches them to expect less from others when it comes to being understood. Every time they are taken advantage of, they become more careful about where they place their trust. Every meaningless argument reminds them that not every battle is worth fighting. They gradually stop explaining themselves to people who have already chosen not to listen. They also stop chasing friendships that exist only as long as they provide something of value. Each of these small decisions quietly changes the way they view relationships. From the outside, everything may seem to happen all at once, but on the inside, the transformation has been unfolding for months or even years. They do not need to announce their departure or dramatically cut off all contact. Instead, they quietly devote more of their time to what truly matters. They invest more in their health, knowledge, and inner peace. The more they appreciate the value of time, the more intentionally they choose how to spend it. That is why their disappearance is not an impulsive act. It is the result of a long journey of personal growth, where they choose a life that reflects their true values and the person they have become. From the outside, many people believe they have become colder and harder to approach than before. Some even assume they are creating distance because they think they are better than everyone else. In reality, the truth is very different from what others see. They have simply become more thoughtful about where they invest their time and energy. They understand that each day is limited, and that once time is gone, it can never be recovered. That is why they no longer want to waste it on things that lack real meaning. They choose conversations that inspire them instead of endless complaints that drain their energy. They keep close the people who show respect, listen with sincerity, and grow alongside them. Relationships that bring only pressure are quietly released. This does not come from selfishness or a lack of concern for others. It is the result of understanding what truly matters in life. They realize that the people around them quietly shape their thoughts, habits, and future. That is why choosing who to spend time with is also choosing the person they are becoming. By living with intention, they are no longer carried away by endless outside expectations. Others may believe they are drifting away from the crowd, but in reality, they are simply moving closer to the life they have always wanted. After everything we have explored, perhaps the most important thing to remember is that this change is not a sign of isolation or rejection. Many intelligent people do not disappear because they hate others or have given up on relationships. They simply no longer want to live according to expectations imposed by other people. They understand that a meaningful life always begins with being honest with themselves. Sometimes, that means stepping away from places that leave them emotionally exhausted. Other times, it means letting go of relationships that no longer offer respect or mutual understanding. Those decisions may be misunderstood or even make others feel abandoned. Even so, they accept that possibility in order to protect their long-term peace of mind. Over time, they build a life based on values rather than approval. They no longer seek applause to prove their worth. Instead, They seek the quiet satisfaction of knowing they have lived each day with integrity. From the outside, it may seem as though they are disappearing from the world. In reality, they are slowly finding the person they once lost. If you have recently felt the need to step back and understand yourself more deeply, it does not mean you are weak. Sometimes, it is simply the first step toward a deeper kind of personal growth. Always remember that your value is not determined by how many people know your name. It is determined by how faithfully you live according to your true self every single day. If this video has helped you see life from a new perspective, subscribe to the channel and join us for new psychology videos shared every day.